Just wanted to show people my Mack truck. I actually grew up with this. My dad bought it when I was 7 and parked it in a barn sort of shop in the back of their yard, and I grew up with this truck in the backyard. And when I found out my dad was thinking about selling it, we worked out a price and I bought it off him, and just actually up visiting my parents now, so just figured I'd make a quick little video about it. All right, so behind this tree is my old Mack truck. I'm just up at my parents' place right now. I grew up, this truck was actually driven in here, completely ran, but it's being reclaimed by the earth a little bit. All right, well, that pile of leaves or sticks and stuff, and there it is. This is how it looked when I grew up here. There was always just this opening and this Mack truck just sitting in there. This whole opening was actually filled up by a big bush that was growing out of here. I kind of hacked it all off, but the bush was actually like right up into the rafters. It was just massive. And one of the branches down here, or that, was actually pushing against this corner, and it kind of tweaked it a little bit. So that's gonna have to get sort of bent back in. But either way, this is a 1954 Mack B20. You know, kind of a running joke with old cars is that it ran when parked, but this thing was actually a perfect running vehicle that was driven into here, and the wall was pulled apart and then put back together by my dad. Surprisingly, there's still a bit of air in the tires after 30 years. You know, I'm pretty sure the paint is all in pretty darn good shape. I think this is just sort of bird nuggets and whatnot, or just random old sort of barn dust. But this is going to be a pretty interesting project when I get around to it. I don't really have a big enough shop to get into this, I don't think. I mean, I'll just show you a couple of things I want to do here. So it's kind of hard to show. It's got this bed on it that has some sort of like a it was like some kind of tow truck thing. I know at one point in time this truck was used to haul dairy products to Seattle, and it was brought into Canada. I don't know when. My dad bought it in 1990. I want to pull this deck off and probably slide the axle forward a good foot or two. Sorry, it's really hard to show anything. Lighting in here is super dark, but as you can tell, I mean, the frame, this thing had been repainted probably in the late 80s or 90s. The frame is in great shape. I mean, these wheels are pretty crusty, and I mean, you can see everything under here. Like, there's really not anything in the way of rust. You know, the doors open and close great. I think it was green originally. But everything's dusty, but in really good shape, you know. The doors just close amazingly. Everything's super crisp on it. So my plans with this thing are, I want to, first of all, put a diesel in it. I mean, this has an old gas motor. I think it's called a Thermodyne or a Magnadyne, but it probably only had about 112 horsepower or something like that. You know, there's a pretty good size engine bay, so I would definitely be wanting to put a 12 valve in there. I would also probably want to put a Dana 80 dually rear axle on the back. I'd like to shorten the wheelbase a bunch, move that rear axle probably a good foot or two forward, and put some big stacks on it and really kind of go after the big rig look. This area down here where this floorboard is, I'd probably want to pull that stuff out and put some saddle tanks on it. And then, you know, a different front axle with modern brakes, that kind of thing. I'll have to wash it and see what the paint looks like. It needs to have the Bulldog sort of reinstalled. Somebody had damaged that. I would also like to put a visor on it just to cover up the top bit of the window there. But I'll have to clean it up real good and just kind of have a look at you know, what the paint's looking like on there. Maybe do like some matte clear coat on top of it, or just kind of play that card when we get there. That bumper would definitely be going as well. I'd like to put some sort of like big rig style rims on here, probably 24.5s, and some bigger tires, and then definitely kind of lower the stance. Ideally on airbags, but we just have to go down that road and just see how tough it's all going to be. But I mean, there's a little bit of rust in here, surface rust and stuff, but overall she's in pretty darn good shape, so should be a pretty neat project. Anyways, just wanted to, you know, quickly show everybody what's going on with this truck, because this thing is going to be pretty sweet. Really, the potential for this to turn into kind of a cool old lowered rat rod sort of semi thing. I mean, probably won't be rat rodded too much, but you know, that kind of out there style a little bit. Really looking forward to giving this a try. So anyways, just want to say thanks for watching. If you want to keep up to date with everything, please like and subscribe, and hope you guys all have a good day. Take care.